Hi guys, good morning. Don't mind me, I just woke up. Yes, this is what I look like when I just wake up. No makeup, my hair is a mess, and the reason why I wanted to do this really quick is because, I had a lot of things on my mind that I wanted to kind of like just word vomit. I wanted to just get it out there. So don't mind me, I'm like just barely waking up. I've got my coffee, folders, and I'm in my red robe. I'm comfortable. Anyway, a couple things. This video is going to be primarily about, positive, negative energy and how to, read into positive, negative energy and how to think positive and attract positivity to you. And I was just finished watching a video on, positive thinking and like law of attraction, and I wanted to emphasize on that, and I want to emphasize on like what I've been doing to attract that into my life and why my life this year has been amazing so far and what I have done to contribute to that. And I wanted to share a few things with you. So ever since I wanted to do open mic and be in the spotlight, I kept telling myself, this is what I really want. This is my calling. And how I was able to weed out all the negativity by ignoring it, meaning internally. Like, when I'm talking about ignoring it, like, not feeding into it, not entertaining, those thoughts, not entertaining those people's negativity, keep dwelling on it, because the more you dwell on it, the more you attract that. The more you attract negative people, the more you attract negative whatever. It doesn't matter what it is. So there was a video that I saw on Facebook with like all the celebrities and like, talking about law of attraction and positive thinking and positive energy and visualizing yourself doing things. It really is true. And I'll tell you why, because a lot of things have happened to me this year, like gaining a new boyfriend that I never really was focused on gaining a boyfriend, but I did. I gained a boyfriend. I gained a very, very nice boyfriend. Alex is like, we've been dating now about 4 months, I say, and he's done so much for me. Like, I've been struggling a little bit with work, and, I'll get into that, like, either on this video or next video, but I've been struggling a little bit with, like, Uber and Lyft and not making the money that I need to make, because I goal myself at, like, okay, let's say I make, want to make like a certain amount, and I've been noticing I'm spending more on gas than what I'm making. But okay, and I'm getting off topic, but whatever, I'll talk about that in either this video or a different video. But this video is primarily focused on positive thinking and like I want to elaborate on that. So let's just focus on that. Okay, so I went to LA on Tuesday, this Tuesday that just passed. I went to LA, and what prompted me to go to LA was one of the amateur comics. Him and I were talking, and I asked him for some advice. I said, "What's your advice for me? Wanting to like make it big and like do really well and be a successful Arab American comic." He's all, "My advice is A, go to comedy school." I'm like, okay. B, sorry, I lost my train of thought. B, go to Laugh Factory. Go to Laugh Factory in LA, in primarily West Hollywood. Go to Laugh Factory. So we did my research, and I did my research, and I looked on like the instructions for open mic, and like what does an amateur comic need to do and this and that. So I did all that. I tried calling, I tried emailing, no response. So I said, you know what, fuck it. I'm gonna just drive to LA. So I drove, I kind of timed myself, like, okay, they say that the open mic starts at like, or the sign up started at like, I think 5, and that, amateurs line up hours before that. So I thought hours like realistically 4 to 5 hours. I like predicted it about 4 to 5 hours, which I was actually dead on. I left my house at 10:15, and I got there like 10, 11, 12. No, I'm sorry. I'm incorrect. I left my house at like 10, a little after 10. I had to stop by the bank and make a quick deposit, and then I left. So I left San Diego like around 10:30. And I was driving, and as I was driving, I was doing a lot of positive thinking. Meaning when I say positive thinking, everybody talks about positive thinking. What I mean by positive thinking is, ignore the phone in the background. It's telemarketers calling. By the way, I'll tell you a lot about what I did yesterday with telemarketers. It was hilarious. Sorry. You just hang up on them. They're just telemarketers. But, so I was doing a lot of positive thinking. And what I mean by that, I'm going to go into detail right now. When I used to work when I finished working in Oregon, when I was working my job up there was someone that came in. Okay, there was a guy that came in that was observing me. And he was reading, I guess, my aura. I guess that's what you call it. And he told me, he was reading me, and he told me some things that I was like a little taken back by. I was like, what the heck? And he said, he's all, what's your passion in life? What makes you tick? What makes like the hair stand up on your back or on like all over your skin? What makes you like go ape shit? I'm like, being on stage. He's like, okay, what stage? Like elaborate. So I told him. He's like, okay, follow that passion, follow that itch. And he's like, you working at this bar, in this bar is not gonna get you where you need to get. I'm like, he's all, don't be scared. Just do it. He's like, when you feel like you're envisioning something, or you see someone doing something, and it gets like the hair standing up on like the back of your back, or like all over you, and you feel that tingly feeling. I'm like, yeah. He's all, that's it. Take that and use that in everything, and visualize yourself doing that. Visualize yourself doing things that you dreamed of doing, that a lot of other people don't have the guts to do. He's like, visualize yourself doing that all the time and act on it. Work hard on it. So I started to do that, and it's crazy. Like, positive thinking and visualizing yourself doing things is crazy to me. I was just watching a video on Facebook about these celebrities, like, Denzel Washington, and like the MMA fighter, or I don't know his name. I think it's from like Scotland or something. So, but anyway, get into the point. I was watching these guys. Oh, like Jim Carrey. They were being interviewed like about positive thinking, law of attraction, attracting what you feel, what you envision yourself doing. It's true. It's really, really true. I'm not making this shit up. Like, okay, when I went to LA, okay, here's an example. When I went to LA, I was waiting in line just like everybody else, okay? I was waiting in line, and there were about, I was waiting in line between like 1:30 and like 5, exactly 5. The lady came outside to give us instructions on how stand-up's gonna be and this and that. So there was a well-known comic, by the name of Slang. He's a black comic. I don't know his last name, but his name is Slang. And apparently he's very well known. He's got a little over 45,000 followers on Instagram. I've never met the guy, only because I don't, there's so many male comics out in the world that it's hard to keep track of who's who, unless you're like, I guess you're really big. I'm not saying he's not well known, I've just never heard of him. but I met him. I met him and I met Maz Jobrani. He's also a very, very well-known comic. He's also Persian. I met him in person, took a picture with him. He was very cool, very nice. Both guys very cool, very down to earth. They were not stuck up. They were humble. They were actually giving, Slang was actually giving us, advice and tips and like where to go do open mic and this and that. So we ended up getting, I can't even talk right now. We ended up getting interviewed, via YouTube, the Laugh Factory. They ended up interviewing us, asking us a couple loaded questions, and I was on there getting interviewed. And, you know, I just think it's kind of like crazy, funny how things happen, but at the same time, not really. Like, I don't look at it as a coincidence. I look at it as you're thinking positive, you're acting out on it, like you're not just sitting there twiddling your thumbs. You know, nothing freaking happens when you just sit at home and you don't do shit. You have to act on it. You have to work hard. Nothing in life comes easy. Nothing. Okay? And for those people that sit there twirling their thumbs all day, fuck you. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, we have to bust our asses to get to where we want to get. Nothing in life comes easy. I had to stand in line. Not even kidding you. I had to stand in line for like a few hours. And by the way, I was starving. Drinking water and just, you know, munching on little bits of like walnuts. I was starving. Cause I ate, but then, you know, you're in line and I didn't know what to expect. I came prepared, but I didn't come prepared enough. So, and something else I wanted to tell you. At the time when I was working for Uber, I met someone by the name of Fale. He's one of the producers. I guess he's like an assistant producer or something, that recruited me to come and partake and experience being behind the scenes, at, the Tonight in San Diego, not a TV show, but it's like one of those like, it's one of those shows like one of those like Tonight shows, like Jimmy Fallon or like, you know, Conan O'Brien, one of those shows. So I came in on Monday and I sat in the audience and I was watching, the host, excuse me, I was watching the host interview these guest appearances. And then they asked me to come back on Thursday, which is yesterday, and come into the meeting and to discuss about like headliners and like promos and things like that. So I went and I sat with the headliners. It wasn't really my cup of tea. I went back in and I was gonna go say bye to Fale, but I walked into them doing a promo and I was all, what are they doing? And one of the girls was telling me like, oh, we're doing a promo for Facebook. And I'm all, what kind of promo? She's like, oh, we're just telling jokes and like being goofy and, working. And I'm like, this is more up my alley because it entails being on camera, which is apparently what I want to do. Tell your jokes on camera. So I said, you know what? This is where I need to be. So, and the girl was like, really? Like, you'd love to? I'm like, absolutely, I'd love to do this. She's like, oh my God, we have to beg, because I guess I'm an intern, quote unquote. Because at first when I walked in, I was all, what exactly is going on? Like, what am I, like, I was completely lost in, like, where I was going, and I asked Fale, like, where's this gonna go? Like, am I an intern? Am I a volunteer? What is this? He's like, yeah, you're technically an intern, like a volunteer. I'm like, oh, okay. I wasn't sure if it was like a job or, I didn't know what was gonna happen. So I'm technically a volunteer, which is fine. I get to volunteer my time, which is fine. But it's volunteering my time for promo and marketing and promoting myself as an amateur comic, which is great for me. So Mondays, I have to be at the show in downtown Horn Plaza to do the behind the scenes and promos. And then Thursdays, they have their meetings, which is great. So I don't know, maybe this will work out for me. Maybe this will give me more exposure. I don't know. But yeah, so I just wanted to I don't know if I elaborated on how I met Fale. Did I elaborate? I don't know if I did. Okay, if I didn't, I'll give you like a quick 30-second intro. I was Ubering. I met Fale. Fale was one of my riders, and I took him to his destination. We were talking. Somehow we jumped on the topic of comedy. I said, oh, by the way, I'm an amateur comic. Da 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 da. He's like, oh, really? And then that's how we started talking and networking. And I said, oh, is it okay if I ask you for your information so we can keep in touch? And maybe I can come by. So he actually encouraged me to come by. He's like, come by the show, see if you like it, da-da-da, this and that. So that's how I met Fale, just an FYI. And, so anyway, going back to positive thinking and negative thinking. And I'll tell you what happens when you think negative, okay? And this happened to me yesterday, and I'll tell you what I've been doing to weed out all the negative crap. So, I was at one of the agri produce stores picking up dessert for my tutor, because I told him I would buy him, send him a gift for helping me with my my stats homework. So there was a girl there, obviously, that was like giving me dirty looks and like hating on me. I don't know what was going on, but she was just giving me dirty looks, and I feeded into it. I was entertaining her negativity, which resulted in more negativity an hour later, and I'm going to go into that in a second. When you, how do I say this? When you see negative energy, negative people that are miserable, or they're pissed, or they're just haters, and you feed on that, you kind of like, I don't know how to explain it. You see that, and you just, you voice your opinion, and you dwell on it. That attracts more negativity. Here's another example. After that, I went to Trader Joe's, and I had to go get some groceries to eat. After that, I went to the post office nearby my house, and there was a Hispanic lady. I don't know exactly what she was, but I knew she was Hispanic. And, I asked her to mail this for me, and she was giving me a lot of attitude. And I was kind of like trying to just brush it off, like, okay, Mira, just, do what you need to do and get out. No! She just kept on going off. And she was giving me attitude, and she was talking to me like I was stupid. And I finally said, you know what? You have a very nasty attitude. I gave her a piece of my mind. I'm all, you have a very nasty attitude. I don't like your attitude. She started talking back to me, and I'm all, you know what? I'm not here to argue with you. I'm just here to tell you, you have a very nasty attitude, and I don't like it, okay? I'm just asking you a question about the package. It's not like I do this on a daily, I don't come and kick it at the freaking post office on the daily. I'm just, I'm asking you a question. There's no need to be nasty. There's no need to be bitchy, and I said, as a matter of fact, I don't even want to argue with you. I'm just telling you, I don't like your attitude. There's no need to be this way. Please just take my stuff and mail it, and I'm going to go home. And I kept dwelling on it when I left, because it pissed me off, as human beings, we should expect, I know this sounds really screwed up, but we should expect for the world to be fucked up, because the world is fucked up. We should expect people to have nasty attitudes. We should not expect for everyone to be happy and go lucky and bubbles and freaking, rainbows and sparkles and glitter all over the place. No, because the world is not like that. The world is negative. The world is screwed up. The world is evil. People are evil. Human beings are nasty. So if I ever got the opportunity to interact with another human being that's happy and go lucky and cheerful all the time and a cheerleader, dude, awesome, great. But if I don't, it's not a big of a deal. I just wouldn't I would exercise my positivity and not entertain or feed into that crap. Do you see where I'm coming from? So I ended up leaving the post office pissed. Why? Why I should have not left pissed. I should have said, it is what it is. She's obviously not happy in her job. She's obviously doesn't have a happy life, or she just doesn't want to be there. A lot of people don't like their jobs. A lot of people are pissed and miserable, and they're just pissed just because they want to be pissed. But I'm not going to let that affect me. And I allowed that shit to affect me. And that's what I'm talking about. You cannot allow people's bullshit to affect you, because it'll end up messing up your day. I was having a great day. I was in a great mood. Why? Because I was thinking positive. And I was counting my blessings for everything that has happened to me so far. You know, I might not be a millionaire right now. You know, I might not have a nice house and, you know, all these things that other celebrities have, but, you know, I'm a lot better off where I'm at now than being homeless. So I told myself, Amira, stop. Just stop it. I went home and I dwelled on it for a little bit. I was like, okay, dwell on it for a little bit, do whatever you need to do, and stop. Just stop. Because the more you dwell on shit, the more you attract that. So later on that evening, I went to that meeting, and it happened again. I was attracting more, I don't know if I was attracting more negativity or girls were just hating on me. I don't know what it was. And I'm being honest here. Like, I went there, I was dressed up nice, because I'm Arab, and Arabs dress up nice. We're a little bit more, diva-ish. I'm not saying diva-ish is a bad thing, but I was dressed up in a black, long, you know, pencil skirt, all the way down to my thighs, like my knees, you know, and I was wearing like a nice coral top, and I was wearing like my BB, blazer, and, you know, I was looking nice. I had, you know, heels on and my hair done. I was looking on point. Like, I was looking really good. So, you're gonna always have haters, and no matter where you go, because I take pride in the way I look. You are your own brand. Okay? I take pride in the way I look. And she was probably just jealous. So, and I'm not saying this to be cocky or arrogant or narcissistic, but I'm being realistic right now. I was dressed up nice. It's not my fault that she looked like she just rolled out of bed. That's not my fault. But, you know, I take time to look nice, because you never know who you're going to meet. You never know who you're going to come across. So you always have to be on point, whether it's casual or dressy. My mom always raised me since I was a baby to look nice. She always told me, leave the house, unless you're going to the gym, leave the house looking like you're going somewhere, like you're going to go meet somebody. So now I always leave the house either wearing some really nice slacks, you know, like skinny jeans, or just something nice, you know, don't leave the house looking like shit. So I was always raised like that. So now it's instilled in me, like, always look nice. But anyway, that's kind of getting off topic again. But getting back to positive thinking. Sorry. So here's another example of what I'm talking about. Back in 2014, when I was competing in INBA, which is called International Natural Bodybuilding Association. I had stopped competing in NPC because NPC, which is National Physique Committee, / IFBB, it's an organization where everybody knows everybody, and everyone has to be on a team, and everyone takes steroids and juices and takes all these pills. And I didn't believe in that. I believed in more being natural and doing things the hard way, because hard work, I'd rather put the work in 100% than cheat. And a lot of people were cheating, you know, and I said, I believe in everything the organic way. So I stopped competing in NPC, and I went to a different organization. Long story short, I envisioned myself on stage. I envisioned myself winning. I envisioned myself holding that trophy. So I kept working hard and training and eating right, and, you know, doing whatever I needed to do to get to where I wanted to get. Later on, I looked into the INBA, and I registered, I did whatever I needed to do, and August came around, I went in and I tanned, you know, and I paid all my fees, and I, the day came for me to compete. I was practicing and practicing and practicing my poses. Finally, went on stage, I killed it, nailed it. Mind you, it was my first time competing in INBA. I had never competed in a natural bikini show. It was called Bikini Divas. Never. I had always competed in, you know, like, more prestigious organizations that had been around for, God, years, decades. INBA hasn't been around that long, but I decided to compete. I paid my fees. By the way, competing is not cheap. It's expensive. Okay? The only way to make it is by getting sponsored. You get sponsors that help you pay for your fees, and you land like photo shoots and you get paid. That's how you make it. So it's kind of like a business. You have to invest money to make money. Anyway, that's besides the point. But I envision myself winning. I envision myself on stage, like literally, I envision myself being there, seeing that light, posing, and winning. August, I placed twice. I placed second and third place. No joke. I can even show you my trophies if you want. And I still have my trophies, and I do plan on competing again. I just don't know when it's gonna be, but I do plan on competing again. And I actually am visualizing myself competing again. I'm visualizing myself winning. So, but you have to believe it. You have to believe, you have to say, you have to have that faith and be like, yes, I'm gonna do this. Yes, there's 50 competitors, and there's only like top 3. So, yeah, I won my first time competing in INBA, and I was getting laughed at because I was, I don't know why I was getting laughed at when I was in line. I was getting laughed at because I was, practicing my posing and people were laughing at me. I'm like, yeah, keep laughing at me. Later on, I won and nobody was laughing. Everybody was like kind of hating on me, like, oh, she won. She must have done something. No, honey, I didn't do anything extraordinary. It's called hard work and marketing yourself and being confident and visualizing yourself doing good things. Visualizing yourself in positive thinking and believing it and a lot of hard work, chasing after that dream, chasing after that goal. So that's what I'm talking about. My first open mic, so getting back to open mics and positive thinking. My next open mic is going to be this Tuesday at the Laugh Factory in West Hollywood, LA. I'm going to do the best I can to videotape everything. Behind the scenes of like what goes on in the back, behind the scenes of open mic, like the good, the bad, and the ugly, and the crazy. So I'm going to do the best I can to videotape as much as I can so you guys can see what exactly happens. And if I do happen to meet any celebrities that they might be there, who knows? If they're there, I'll ask them for permission if I could videotape them. Cause it's technically a liability and they could sue me for that. I mean, some people like to sue people, I don't know, but, so anyway, I just wanted to touch base on that. And, what else? Yeah. My next goal is to do as many open mics, and talk about, my material, in LA. I'm gonna also be in Oregon, June 15th through the 20th. No, I'm sorry, June 15th through July 7th. I'm gonna be in Oregon. So I'll be in Oregon, visiting my boyfriend Alex, and then I'll be doing open mics up there too. So I'll be doing an open mic sometime in somewhere in Portland or Salem, and working as well, so to make some extra money. But yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to just touch base on. Just remember, at the end of the day, you cannot control what other people do or other people say. You can only control your own actions and your emotions. So yeah. That'll be it for now. If I have anything else I wanted to add, you'll see my video. Alright guys, bye bye for now.